Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard podcast. And today I kind of wanted to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers um, rookie camp. And so it went on this weekend, and some good things, some good things came out of there. This is just kind of a time. I mean, it's really not too much football going on. It's kind of a time just to get the rookies kind of used to the drills, um, the pace of practice, so that way when they start the OTAs and they have that mandatory mini camp, you know, running the drills and stuff is not like the first time they done it, because you only got so much time to practice, so they don't want to be sitting there trying to explain stuff and going over little small details that they probably went over at the camp. But also, it just gives the coaches a chance to kind of look at the guys and see them run and just see how they take coaching. And obviously, it's probably the first time that the position coaches actually really got their hands on them and like I say, show them the drills and get them in the classroom and just you know see what type of learner they are, those type things. But the good things that did come out, and this is something that you would think that you would see anyway. They started Troy Fumalo off at the right side. They put him at right tackle. Can't really get too excited about that right now. That was just it's just rookie camp. But for him to be playing the right side, I'm kind of thinking that's where he's going to play, and they're going to they're going to move Broderick Jones over to the left. So that was kind of something that they kind of showed. They also showed Roman Wilson played a lot of slot, which again, that's kind of where I think he's going to be. He's going to be the slot receiver. So that really wasn't a big surprise. Mason McCormick, they moved him over from left to right guard. Again, not really a big surprise because I think honestly they're going to probably get him playing both sides. He's going to have to learn left and right. Because I think he's going to be that next guy up. If one of the guards or actually even center. I heard that he's going to play some center also. So he's probably going to be the next guy up. And depending on how he developed, I could see, him probably start next year. I could see them probably letting James Daniels walk as a free agent, and not a situation because he's played bad or anything. I just think it's going to be a cost savings. They got a guy that's ready to step in there, and he'll be on a rookie contract for the next 3 years. After Daniels leaves, so I I think that's probably why that's going to happen. Also heard that those rookies, especially the linemen, Futanu, Frazier, and McCormick. I mean, they're like Siamese twins, and they're doing everything together. They hanging out together. I think they're living together. They're, I think they said Frazier, put them all in this pickup truck. That got to be a big pickup truck. But and they all drove over to the facilities together. So these guys are trying to, they're starting to make that bond right now. And that's a good thing because the offensive line, out of any position, you got to have that bond, because all those guys, you got five guys, and they all got to think as one. So that's a great thing. So maybe hopefully when they get with the veterans, they can continue that and build that bond with the veterans also. Um, Other than that, I see Peyton Wilson. They pretty much gave him the green dot, so he was calling the defense. So that's a good thing because I think really they don't want Patrick Queen to call the defense, and So that's going to be a good thing, for Wilson to be able to handle it. And it seemed like he did a great job at it. Um, I truly believe that I'm not going to say he's going to start game one, but I think he's going to be a starter sooner than later, probably. So that's a good thing. Um, as far as the other guys, I didn't really hear too much news on them. Um, I'm really not. I didn't actually. I didn't even hear any news on um when the sixth round pick. I can't think of his name. The cornerback from Texas. Because I was kind of interested in the wonder, is he going to play safety or is he going to play corner? I mean, I think he played corner in college, but I think he's going to be a safety for the Steelers. So I really didn't hear anything as far as where they had him at. Other than that, it was a quiet camp, and that's kind of what you want. No injuries or anything like that. Like I say, it's just give these guys a chance to kind of get used to doing things the Steeler way, kind of learning their way around, and so when the veterans get there, they'll be ready. They'll be ready to go. It was also reported that the Steelers have signed all their draft picks except first round and second round guys, and those contracts probably get done shortly. I mean, they probably, especially for first round and the second round, they probably want to wait until some guys kind of sign, close around to where they was drafted. But the other four draft picks are all signed, so those guys are good to go. They'll definitely be at the OTAs, so that's a good thing, and I don't see it being a problem of getting the other two guys signed here shortly. Because like the way the NFL do contracts now, you don't really have that big rookie holdout like you used to have back in the day. Everything is pretty much slotted, so they already know what the contract is. It's I guess there's a few things they negotiate, guaranteed money and all that type, or when it's going to be paid out, when bonuses are going to be paid and all that type stuff. I think that's about the only thing they really negotiate now. But as far as the amount, I think that's pretty much a set deal now. So you don't have those long holdouts and guys not being there for training camp. So that was really about it as far as anything with the rookies. Again, this is a exciting time. You got the schedule coming out on Wednesday, so we'll be able to play the win loss game like that. Every NFL fan and people on podcasts, that's what we do. So we'll be going into that Wednesday. Me personally, the only thing I'm looking for is how many national televised games the Steelers have. I'm going to say at least 4. Um, I can see the Cowboys game maybe being a Sunday night game or something like that. They got the Chiefs. If they don't make that a national televised game, it definitely probably be a 4 o'clock game. You always going to get that Baltimore Steelers game. That should be a game that they probably look at. Maybe Steelers Browns. I just got a feeling. I got a feeling the Steelers going overseas this year. I don't know why I feel that way, but I think it's almost time that they might get one of those London games. But again, I don't know. I don't know if the teams really like that because I think you kind of give up a home game. So I don't know, but I think they're gonna go over there as a visitor. But I have a feeling the Steelers will have one of those London games, so we're gonna have to get up and watch them at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever them games come on. So you got that, that that's coming out on Wednesday. Um, Other than that, I mean, it's kind of slow motion. Like I say, it's about to really go into this dead period. I mean, like I say, you got the OTAs coming up. and then you have the mandatory OTA. So then you have all the veterans there on the whole team actually. So um, that's something to look forward to. But then kind of after that's over with, like in June, they'll maybe that second week in June, the NFL kind of shuts down and ain't really too much news. Honestly, the only news that happens in June is bad news. So you don't want to really have no news until training camp. So that's a big thing that not really looking forward to. It'd be kind of hard to get new content or whatever. So I did have a couple of questions that I kind of wanted to answer and kind of see what people were thinking. So my question is, which rookie you think is going to have the biggest impact this year? Me personally, I think it's going to be Peyton Wilson. I think he's going to definitely become a starter, even though we probably got two other rookies on the offensive side that's probably going to start right away. But I just think Wilson is going to probably have the biggest impact because I think he's going to make the splash plays as far as just kind of watching linemen. Nobody really, I'm not gonna say pay attention to him, but if no news for a lineman is good news. Where I think Wilson is going to definitely come on strong, and I think he's going to have a great year. Like me personally, I'm almost saying that he could probably end up being rookie defensive player of the year. I feel that highly for him because I think he's a good fit. So as long as he stay healthy, and like I said, and also to be fair, the inside linebacker position is very hard. Is very hard for a rookie to come in and kind of master that. It's some growing pains with that because they just get manipulated so much with these quarterbacks as far as kind of doing the read option. You got some guys doing the read option, but these NFL quarterbacks are so good with their eyes, they kind of manipulate young guys a little bit. So sometimes the inside linebacker, it takes those guys a few years to really get going and basically playing full speed. But I just see this kid doing some great things. So that's really my pick of who I think will have the biggest impact this year. And then my next question was, um, what undrafted free agent that you think is going to have the best chance to make the team? And I'm going to say Beanie. Oh man, what's my Beanie Bishop? Beanie Bishop, the corner. Also, they reported that they put him in the slot right away, and I think that's going to be a great position for him. He's going to be a slot corner, and that's a job that's kind of it's an opening right there. So that's a job that maybe he can um, halfway through the season take over. But I think he probably of all the guys that they signed, I think he has a great chance of making the team and actually getting on the field. Edwards, the running back, I heard, they were kind of high on him. I guess he had a good camp also. But who knows like how that would go. The running back room is kind of crowded right now. Because when you put Cordell Patterson, which he's probably gonna be the third back, so that's gonna be a little crowded. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Beanie Bishop is probably my pick for that. So other than that, I think it's really no other news. Just like I said, the thing with Najee that it was some stuff that was coming out that he asked to be he asked for the Steelers not to pick up his option and he want to go somewhere else next year. I'm not really as far as the going somewhere else next year. I mean, obviously, if you're going to be a free agent, you got that opportunity to talk to other teams, and you could end up going somewhere next year. But I do kind of see where Najee probably kind of expressed that, hey, if we can't work out a long-term deal, I'd rather for you guys not to put the 5th-year option on me. Let me go into free agency. Because like I say, with the running backs, their shelf life is shorter than any other position. So I can see Najee wanting to get to free agency a little early. But other than that, we'll just see how that breaks down. I'm very interested to see when the team comes back together, especially at mandatory OTA, just what his attitude is. I mean, if he's kind of pouting a little bit, then that's going to be a little concerning. But if he comes in good soldier, just want to have the best year that he can. Like I say, that's going to be a win-win for both sides. Win-win for the Steelers, win-win for Najee, because the better year he has, the more chance he got to get that big contract. And like I say, I mean, the Steelers still could franchise him, so that's gonna be interesting how that's gonna play out. But we'll see how that go. Other than that, it's really not that much other news. Like, again, on the receiver front, I don't see the Steelers really making any type of trades at this point. I think what they're going to do, I think the guys that they have, now, I think that's what they're going to go into camp with. I think probably the first 2 weeks of camp, or maybe the first week of camp, if they feel like, hey, these guys are not cutting it, and we need another receiver, I can see Omar getting on that phone and striking a deal with somebody to get somebody in here. But other than that, I don't see anything happening with the receivers right now. So it's kind of like the guys that they have. And one thing I will say with the Steelers, and it just don't get it wrong, and I'm not trying to say they don't need another receiver, but the one thing I will say, this is probably outside of Miami, and even with Miami, is more like two guys, but this is probably the fastest receiving core in the NFL. I mean, like all these guys they got. I mean, I want to say Pickens, which is probably a high 4.4 guy. He's probably the slowest guy. The rest of these guys can. I mean, they got some wheels. They can scoop. Granted, again, that doesn't mean that they're gonna be a great receiver. I mean, I don't know how good they can catch or get open, but I just kind of noticed that. I like, wow, they really they're building a fast receiving core. So again, we'll see how that go. Like I say, I don't expect the Steelers to do any type moves with the receivers until camp, and if they feel like the guys they got are not cutting it, I can see them making a deal. But I think right now they're just gonna roll with what they got. So other than that, I have nothing else, and we will probably talk to you on Wednesday. After the schedule come out. Like I say, that's an exciting time, and we'll kind of go over the schedule and see. I mean, we already know who they're playing, so we just see the times and what national TV games they have. But other than that, that is it. And I'll talk to you later. All right. Take care and have a good day. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. All right. Bye-bye.